Welcome to the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast with Mike Kincaid and Jake Goebel. Join them as they experience specialty coffee and document their journey. These friends explore roasts and roasting methods, brewing equipment and techniques, and review the cafes they visit along the way.
Thanks, Brioni, and thank you for joining us for episode 60 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast, where Mike and I talk a little bit about the coffee experiences we had, including going to the Raven, Thanks a Latte, and Step 1 coffee shop. We also talk about dialing in the Ileo Bullet R1. We talk about the history and origin of Orange Cactus Coffee and introduce you to Itchy the Cactus. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Hey! I'm Jake Goebel. I'm sitting here with Mike Kincaid, and you have reached episode 60 of the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast. Oh, yes, a whole show dedicated to coffee and coffee alone.
And various other topics as they present themselves.
And various other topics, yes. But coffee alone, along with those various other topics.
Yeah,
Tangents, yes. Any tangents that we find, we are going to pursue them at the rapid rate. And we're going to head down those things, those trails, those rabbit trails.
Okay. What's the first trail today, Jacob?
It says intro.
Let's roll the intro.
And then it says Manny G recommends.
Oh, so is it an intro to Manny or an intro to the show?
It's supposed to be an intro to the show. We're supposed to tell people, hey, how's it going? Hey, welcome. Hey, blah, blah, blah.
A little bit about us.
A little bit about us.
Well, maybe we should. Maybe it's time.
More than a minute.
Maybe you should give a little bit of your story, Jacob.
What?
Now, we've only got...
We don't have enough time.
5-7 minutes.
We do not have enough time to hear all of the awesomeness.
But I did allude
that is
to your story about the origin of the orange cactus.
The origin of the orange cactus.
And I think that story resides in your head.
It does.
Do you want to tell the people why we're called Orange Cactus?
We are called Orange Cactus Coffee for one simple reason. Mike thought it was a good idea. So when I first had the concept of the Orange Cactus Coffee, or Orange Cactus, everybody told me that I was stupid. Everybody told me I was crazy. The missus says that has nothing to do with coffee. Drop it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And I did. I dropped it. I listened to the haters. Missus isn't a hater.
But you had a vision.
But I had a...
Where was it? Are you getting to it?
I'm going to get to it.
Okay.
I'm going to get to it.
Don't skip over. That's all I want to make sure.
Okay. I don't want to talk about it, but I will for you because you asked me. So everybody said, oh, the market is saturated. Starbucks has taken over. There's no need for you to even worry about it. You're not going to be able to do it. Give up on your dreams. Yeah. And I did. I gave up. Thank you very much. Orange Cactus has nothing to do with anything. That was 2001. 2000?
Man.
2001.
Total prime. 2000,
yeah. That would have been the time to take the Scott Rayo trip from California all across the country, finding the college towns, looking where you could put a 12-kilo roaster in the window and set up a little third wave shop, or not even a third wave shop, just a coffee shop where you care about people.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. There were some competing ideas in my head. That was one of them. The second was to go become a history teacher at a high school and a high school football coach. And the third was, there was no third. The third ended up, other people said, hey, why don't you get out of the Marine Corps and become a cop and settle down for the safe life. Get you a safe career and get you going.
Jacob, time to start adulting.
And I said, yeah, okay, that sounds like a good idea. They got uniforms. They got guns. I like uniforms. I like guns.
Hold my dream while I go work.
Yeah, hold my dream while I go work. And... that's what you get for listening to other people, because the responsibility is mine. Don't feel sorry for me. I made those decisions. I'm the one that gave up. I'm the one that's the quitter.
But not all
I don't
is
feel
lost.
sorry for me.
You went into that still wanting to make a difference.
That's true.
And I think you did.
That's true. I think I did too.
That's another tangent.
For sure, I've made a difference in people's lives.
That's like a tangent.
A tangent.
A tangent.
We don't want to talk about that, though.
Yeah. That's like
we
a
want to talk
cul-de-sac.
about. So bring it back to the Orange Cactus. And so anyhow, this guy named Mike hired me to work in a bank. I decided, well, let me go work in a bank. Let me see what that's all about. So I get hired to go work for a guy. His name is Mike Kincaid. He hires me on the phone, sight unseen, blingity bling unknown. And he decides that after one failed business venture, which we're not going to get into much either, he says, hey, let's revisit that coffee. And you kind of heard that in Mike's story. Let's revisit coffee. And he's like, I like the name Orange Cactus Coffee.
I like coffee. You like coffee.
We like orange cacti, cactuses, cactusos.
We live amongst them.
Let's do it. And I said, wow, you really? You want to roll with the orange cactus?
Really?
Because I said, look, you don't have to, placate me. I'm in. I'm in on the coffee thing. We can call it something different. You don't have to, just because you want me to join you in this venture, call it Orange Cactus. Just because I love that name, we don't have to use it. It doesn't have to go like that. We can just do whatever. We can call it Caffeine Unlimited. Shout out to Brandon Kirkland. What up? That was kind of the name that he and I talked about for opening a coffee shop.
Yeah. We threw around some other options.
There were some other names. We decided against Blue Bottle Deuce. Intelligentsia Squared.
Then we're going to go Brown Bottle.
Brown Bottle.
Oh, that would be magical.
Orange Bottle.
Well, I think what helped, I like the name, and I'm just going to plug this and you can keep going. I think what really helped me seal the deal is when we got your brother involved with creating the logo.
Yeah. You saw it. And you're like, that's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool. Well, I've got artwork here from 2001.
I know. I'm glad you didn't show me that because we probably wouldn't have continued to be Orange Cactus.
I thought that it'd be cool to have a mascot.
Yeah, okay.
And call him Itchy the Cactus.
Here we go.
And he wears sunglasses. He was going to be an orange saguaro cactus like our current logo.
Love it.
Only humanize him a little bit, right? Make him anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Put some sunglasses on him. And his name is Itchy.
And he'd parade around and sell you coffee.
And he paraded around and he would sell coffees. He would show up at sporting events.
We need a retro line that we could totally go with this.
Itchy the Cactus. Live and in the house. Of course, because he's itchy. I mean, he's a cactus for crying out loud.
Your renditions are great. I think I'm going to have to grab some shots of those and put it on the YouTube video. Let all the listeners see.
While I was in the Marine Corps, we were deployed overseas. For Christmas in 2000, we were in the Seychelles.
Where's that?
An island in the middle of nowhere. I don't even
know. That's
I can tell you.
I don't know where it is.
I can tell you. The Seychelles. We'll look it up real quick.
So by Hawaii?
No, keep going.
Florida?
Yeah. Real
Alaska.
Real close to where Florida
is. Which peninsula? What is it?
Peninsula. The Seychelles are off the coast of Africa. I thought that's where they were. They were more Africa.
By the Ivory Coast?
Which side is the Ivory Coast?
I don't know.
Is it the east? It's off East Africa.
That's just what you do in a conversation when you're like, oh, yeah, I know where that is. It's over by the Ivory Coast. And you know they don't know, so it sounds like you know.
It's a straight shot. It's southeast.
As
so
the
it's
crow
not
flies.
As the crow flies from Somalia and Mogadishu. Oh. It's actually a straight shot over from Mombasa, which is
waters.
In Kenya.
Yeah.
So if you go east from Nairobi and a little bit south out into the water, boom, Seychelles Islands.
Yeah.
Well, we had Liberty there, which means you can the ship stops and you can go get off the ship.
Oh, like duty free.
No, it's called Liberty. Duty free is like tax free in buying stuff in
international
waters.
waters.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's not that.
Oh, okay.
So Marines and sailors can get off and they can go visit the island, and that means typically alcohol. They'll set up something and there'll be some beer somewhere. Yeah. Little beer garden or whatever.
Check out for a little bit.
had no desire to do that.
Yeah.
I wasn't there with the missus. It's beautiful. It's like an island paradise. But I didn't want to have nothing to do with no island paradise. I was newly married. I got married in May of 2000. And here I was for Christmas 2000. I was kicking it in the Seychelles. Wow. So I decided there were other Marines who had to stand duty. It was their turn to stand duty, meaning that they check the Marines that are leaving, make sure they got libo buddies, make sure that they have permission to leave, and then check them back in. So I'm in charge of accountability for my Marines.
Travel buddies.
You have to take your travel buddy before you go.
Yeah.
And when you get back, I'm going to make sure that you're here and your travel buddy's here.
Gotcha.
So that's that. While I'm sitting there, and I was there for 8 hours or 24 hours. I can't even remember how long my shift was. But I was talking coffee with my first sergeant when he came down. First Sergeant Jose Martinez. Big shout out. Woo. Anyhow, while we were sitting there talking, we come up with two different business models. One was for an adventure obstacle course race. We said nobody will ever want to do this, but like we'll take these Marine Corps obstacles, like these physical obstacles, and we'll let civilians run them. And it'll be great. Yeah. And part of that will be we can have exercise routines, just major thrash sessions where you do crazy things like, 100 push-ups, run a mile with weighted vests and do all kinds of, just exercise.
Sounds a little bit familiar.
Nobody's going to want to do that.
No. Would not take off at all.
At all. Yeah. Nope. That's what we determined.
Certainly wouldn't become $1 billion industry.
No, nobody would want to do that. Those things obviously we weren't the only guys having the idea because CrossFit, Spartan race, all these different things. Those took off. And it's just, the thoughts of Marines and soldiers, sailors and airmen on duty, sitting down talking with each other. Somebody had the courage to do it.
Exactly. Ideas
are poop. Execution is everything. So you can't say, well, I had that. Of course you had the idea. Yeah, you're the Uber of daycare. Yeah, I know. You have the idea, but you don't execute. You can't execute it. Well, what was the other idea? The other idea was for a coffee shop.
That ship sailed.
Something that was right. Starbucks is totally got the market cornered, though.
Saturated.
So the second thing was coffee. After we visited Australia, and it wasn't something real big for coffee in Darwin at the time. It was just kind of being out in the middle of nowhere and hanging out with the homies and talking about ideas. I came up with, hey, maybe a coffee shop. And we refined that idea sitting there on duty. And I was like, Orange Cactus Coffee. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to open a coffee shop. Yeah. And we're going to have the prickly pear is going to be like the fruit smoothie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the first sergeant, he was always like the foo-foo stuff. So there was going to be the foo-foo menu and the regular menu. Gotcha. The regular menu was going to be the man's drink. Just give me coffee. And then if you want the foo-foo lattes, it was going to be under the foo-foo section. And we were going to round everything up to whole dollars to make it easy, and the tax is just in. Yeah. So you come in. Right? I don't want to. You're telling me that drink is $3.49 plus tax, plus if it's for here or to go, there's different taxes based on where I'm at. It's just confusing and it's annoying. We wanted to say nope, $4, $3, $5, flat. Yep. One size, 16 ounces. You want a smoothie? Boom, it's 16 ounces. What about if I want 24? I don't care whether you want 24 or not. It's a 16-ounce drink. So I started playing around with the menu. I started playing around with drawings, and it just kind of built from there. When I got back stateside, I started looking into Alice Fasenko's espresso business course. I bought the $300 course DVD and book set with counseling over the phone, or really? Not counseling. What is it? What's it called? Not counseling. That's like when things are going wrong.
Yeah, that's after the business failed.
Yeah.
Consulting
over the phone. Thank you. I actually called and I talked to him.
Did you?
I talked to him because I was looking at opening a place off of 10th West and Avenue L in Lancaster, California. Yeah. And at that same intersection, 2 years after I didn't execute on my idea, Starbucks is on the same spot that I said, that's a perfect spot for a coffee shop. Starbucks put a coffee shop.
Well, because not only did they have an idea,
they executed it.
Exactly.
You can have all the greatest ideas in the world. And I know that you've had those. You thought about something. You say, it would be cool if somebody did that. And then somebody does it. And you're like, that was my idea. Yeah. Bro, you're not the only one that had that idea. You had the idea. You couldn't execute. Yeah. You got to execute.
Got to do.
So anyhow, I go to school, get my bachelor's degree. I never really lost the Orange Cactus Coffee idea. And going to school helped me further refine it. So anytime, like when I had a speech class, public speaking class, I used the concept of the coffee shop. Yeah. I did all my homework and prepared. It was all about the coffee shop. When I did my senior thesis for, the business, the marketing plan, the business plan, and all those different types of things, it was always Orange Cactus Coffee. So I did all that work just to never do anything with it. But instead, when people said, no, you can't do it, you're right, I can't. No, that's not a good idea. You're right, it's not.
Probably right.
You're probably right.
It's a big risk.
It's a big risk.
Too big of a risk.
It's too big a risk. Yeah. And there's already Starbucks everywhere. Nobody can compete with them.
Nope.
Who can compete with Starbucks? And now Ronnie McDonnie is coming. Ronnie is coming for you.
There's Donuts is coming.
There's
for
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
There's no room in the coffee industry.
No.
You might as well not even try. So then some dude named Mike Kincaid said, hey, I like the idea. Orange Cactus Coffee, let's do it. So it's morphed and changed. At the time, I really wanted to roast. I really thought it would be cool because I'd never seen it done before. What about if you had the roaster in the shop?
Mind blown.
Boom. Are you kidding me? The roaster is in the shop?
Yeah.
That would be so cool. Nobody's doing that, bro. And people would say, Starbucks doesn't do that. It's not going to work.
No, it's better to be a mystery for them where the beans come from.
Yeah. And then you hear about Scott taking his risks.
Yeah.
Big ups, man.
You go for it.
He did it. He said, this is what I want to do. I want to put a roaster in the window, 12-kilo roaster in the window and run my shop.
Draw attention, bring people in.
And that's what I wanted to do, but fear constrained me.
Yeah. That's a tough one to overcome. But along those same lines, just throw this at you.
Yeah.
How cool would it be? And we've discussed briefly because we are in the possession of the Bullet R1.
The Bullet.
How cool would that be if at one point, I don't think, depending on scale, but whatever, you have the Bullet in the shop and somebody comes in and they want, coffee and they want to get a bite to eat and they're going to hang out for 20, 30 minutes.
How fresh is this coffee? How fresh do you want it?
Exactly. If they want to take a bag with them, you say, okay, cool. Do you want one of these, or I can knock it out on the Bullet right now? Or even better yet, you can do it on the Bullet, and I'll show you. Come over here. You know what I mean? And they could roast their own little coffee.
I'm telling you.
15 minutes.
You can't do that.
You drop the batch.
When
they
you
take
got
it home
one
with you.
barista.
Of course, it's experience, and not everyone's going to want to do that. But weekends, or if you bring friends, I just think it's a cool little thing. And they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You could say, you guys are going to hang out for a little bit? I'll roast your coffee right now so that when you take it, it's as fresh as you possibly get it. I recommend waiting at least, till tomorrow or the next day. But you can dive in whenever you want. I just thought the Bullet's perfect for that.
I agree.
But anyway, that was just made me think of that when you said, have the roaster in the shop. Not only have the roaster in the shop, let them use it.
That's what I'm telling. Like, remember, and I don't want to get too much into coffee experiences here, but remember Thanks a Latte when I went in and I was like, dude, they got a hot top in the corner. Would you buy the hot top? No. But if I came in and they'd be like, bro, you want to come roast your coffee right now? I got a hot top. Let's do it. Let's roast it.
How cool is that?
You and me, one-on-one, 20 minutes. Dude, you could build a fan for life.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do that. You want to have one barista in there. You want to have people wait 25 minutes for their drinks. You want people to get poor service, walk out. Oh, and can you please give me a plug on TripAdvisor?
Yeah.
Dude, you are broken. I hope you lose.
Brilliant.
I hope you lose. I'm mad now, Mikey.
Pumped up. Where did you get your coffee?
Me all pumped up.
Let me tell you about it. I actually roasted it myself.
I roasted it. Dude, did you go down to that?
We can have the profiles dialed in and say, this is what we recommend.
You could have roast parties.
I mean, it's endless.
There's the missus is leaving tonight. Cool. She's going to a place. I can't even remember what it's called.
She's leaving?
She's leaving me.
So the house is...
Finally.
Is it going to be vacant?
Finally.
What, you haven't been providing coffee?
I haven't been providing coffee. And that's the deal. So she's going out on this mom's night out thing.
What?
And they're going to a place where they're going to paint, they're going to do something. They do something together.
Like wine, dinner, painting,
They have those.
Like that.
Wine and painting. Why not coffee and roasting?
That would be cool.
Part of the coffee experience.
Yeah.
The Go Taste experience. Nobody's
Especially
doing
if
that.
you've got like 3
bullets. Why aren't we doing that? Why don't we just quit our jobs and do it tomorrow? Let's go right now.
Okay. Let's do it. No, we can live in fantasy land for a little bit. Let's do it.
We can live in fantasy land. But 18 months, I don't know how long is too long. But right now we're 6 months in to making this Orange Cactus Coffee a reality. And it's been a wonderful journey. And I'm very thankful to be on this coffee journey with you, Mike.
Absolutely.
And you.
Well, I think one of the things we wanted to know or accomplish going into this is we knew we needed to learn a lot.
Yes.
For the type of experience and shop we wanted to create.
Yeah.
We knew, let's just start learning and documenting.
Yeah. And we were talking about that today when Mike came over and we were making some more coffee because that's what we do. We drink too much coffee when we hang out. But what were you saying when I was messing up your iced coffee upstairs?
Well, you were popping ice cubes out of the tray and handling them, and you're throwing them all over the floor. Yeah. So is this what you're going to do when we have a shop?
Yeah. Perfect.
Because it was a little bit of a mess.
And my answer is yes, absolutely, because I'm still experimenting with drinks, with recipes, with how we're going to do things. How does this work?
Is this a precursor of how well you're going to work under pressure?
Yes, absolutely. But it comes to the question is this. It's like, where's your ice come from? Well, it just comes from this ice maker here.
Yeah.
Well, you got to buy an ice maker.
What?
And then there's Mike's got some cool books where they've got drinks with coffee cubes, latte cubes, and Starbucks is moving to coffee cubes. Mm-hmm. And there's a bar in
actually
Phoenix
made out of coffee.
Yes, an ice cube that's not ice. It's coffee ice cube.
Yeah,
it's a coffee.
So
cube.
when it melts, it doesn't dilute.
It doesn't dilute. It's just coffee.
Yeah.
To me, that's cool. A whole new world of experimentation.
A whole new world?
A whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. Yes, a whole new world. And there's a bar down in Phoenix where they hand cut the ice into little spheres. Spheres.
I think even Sven. Cutting the spheres. You're right. They have a like almost a proprietary method of melting.
Of freezing it.
So that it freezes
the way they want it to.
A sequence, like top to bottom, so that oxygen is pushed out. And it creates crystal clear. What is going on? Crystal clear.
Ice.
Crystal
clear.
What is crystal?
Crystal clear. I don't know, but it sounds great. I want to try it. I'd like to spend $7 on that drink.
Yeah, it features crystal ice.
Yes, I love crystal ice.
We just make up our own names.
Yeah.
We use it in all our prepared
drinks. Oh, that's Clistal. That's a. You can have the Clistal, but I got to charge you an extra $1. It's an upcharge. It's an add-on.
Yeah.
But they do that. They hand carve spheres of ice, and they are, like Mike said, crystal clear.
That's cool.
Because of the way that they freeze it. But they tell you how they do it. There's no secrets.
No, there's no secrets.
They tell you how they do it.
Ain't nobody else can do that.
Go ahead. You go execute. Here's the secrets. Go execute.
Yeah. That's cool.
And so there's just so much more that you can do with ice. So that's what we're doing. We're experimenting with things. What do we want? What do we like? What do we not like? Think everything through. Don't rush it. It takes time to figure out what your menu is going to be. Don't just buy the espresso business thing and say, well, everybody's got these 3 flavors. I can tell where you got your business plan from when I roll up and I see your menu.
Yeah.
If I see everything set up the way my man Alex says, I know, okay, perfect. Hey, you've got those 3 fruit flavors of smoothies, the A, B, and C. I don't know. I've got it in there. Yeah. It's a cookie cutter method. It's designed
to just turn and burn, make some profits.
That's it. And if that's what you're into, go ahead. Go on ahead. But here's who you're competing with? You're competing with Starbucks and Ronnie and Dunkin' Donuts.
That's true.
If you're not giving them anything special, you're competing with those guys.
Yeah.
And good luck.
There's something I think that when you're doing a craft, whatever it is, some type of artisan bakery or artisan coffee or doing something
or artisan chocolate.
Yeah. There is, I think when you not just knowing that the product has been made, handmade, handcrafted, but seeing some of the process, that's part of what makes it enjoyable, right? Even when you go to a donut shop and you see the donuts being made.
Krispy Kreme.
Exactly.
I tell you, the first time, I'd never heard of Krispy Kreme.
Cool.
The first time I went, they got a fan for life.
Yeah.
Because I watched it get made, I watched it come off the conveyor, and they handed it to me for free. I was like, no way.
Are you suggesting there should be free samples of coffee while you wait?
Maybe.
Here, try this. This is our new blueberries to the face.
That's blueberries brilliant. To the face.
Little samples.
Little sample cup. They do it for me at Boss. Oh, you don't know which one? Let me try both of them.
It's not just an occasional thing, not just a pick and choose which customer gets a sample, but every customer that comes in the door, you offer them.
Well, Krispy Kreme doesn't do that. It's only when the hot now sign is on.
But there's a designated time at least.
Yes.
Right? It's not just you're a wishy-washy customer that can't decide, so let me offer you something to get you on our side of the fence.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just saying there could be something there.
There is something there.
That's cool.
There is something. Look at that. We're solving the world's problems right here on the Orange Cactus Coffee Podcast.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Anyway, so where are we at?
Manny G.
Oh.
Because Manny G knows Manny G is solving the world's problems. Manny G is out there. He is working. He is hustling. He is making the world a better place. And Manny G recommends.
Manny G recommends.
Manny G recommends homebarista.com, and that's home-barista.com. Dash, whatever you want to call it. Not a forward slash, not a backslash. You can probably just Google Home Barista.
Home Barista.
But it's an active community for coffee nerds. It's got brew and equipment advice. You misspelled advice in the show notes, by the way.
At least there are show notes.
At least there are show notes. That's better than when I started it. And you can buy and sell used equipment.
Yeah.
Which Manny's had some incredible results from that. Tell him about it, Mike.
Yeah,
Tell him.
Good find.
Tell us about it.
He had a good find in there. He found a...
What do you have?
Barazza-Vario.
A Barazza-Vario.
Yeah. Hooked it up. A nice flat burr grinder. Pretty fancy, but he found it for a good deal. I don't even know what the deal was, nor does it matter. It was just a great deal. I think it was less than half of retail or something like that.
Something like that.
But there are those deals out there. But for whatever reason, people get the equipment. They got to move. Life changes. They just go on the forum and post it, and you can take advantage of it.
Or like Manny, he just wants to try
it all.
He wants to try every grinder out there. Hand grinder, electric grinder, whatever.
I was looking into it. I was like, wow, that's a good deal. Serious grinder. Yeah, great deal.
That's some serious grinding you got there, Manny.
Man, you could grind so much coffee with that. Yeah, what size is your hopper on that bad boy?
So anyways.
You get an extension.
Manny G recommends homebarista.com.
There you go. Check it out.
Now, next we go into our coffee review.
Who we got today?
Brandywine.
I thought we were doing coffee.
It says coffee review Brandywine.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to make a joke.
Oh.
Maybe not everyone knows.
Okay.
It is a unique name.
Say it again and I'll laugh.
You want to try it again?
Yeah.
You want to start over?
Next is coffee review Brandywine.
What did I say?
I thought we were talking about coffee. Yeah. You know what, Mike? It's a common misconception. It's not brandy. It's not wine. It is coffee, and they're a great coffee roaster.
Good save.
Better. So we got some serious blueberries to the face with a natural Ethiopian. I don't remember the first word, but the second word was killa.
Yeah.
It was great. Just look for Ethiopian killa. It was
a great good. Natural. It really was, yeah.
Really good. What I also like about Brandywine is they have a theme. They have an idea. They have an identity about them. And they go all in. Their bags do it. They've got wax-sealed bags.
Wax-sealed.
That's not the only seal that they have. Everything else is the same. They seal the top. They have the little ziplock closure, but they do have a wax seal, different colors depending on what color the bag printing is. Yeah. That's stamped. I don't know. What is that thing?
It's a wax. It's a wax seal.
Wax seal.
It's a seal. That's what a seal. It's a
Nothing more need be said.
No, what do they call that?
I don't know.
That's a ringlet. A ringlet? No,
a metal thingamabobber.
That usually, like the king would put his.
A signet ring.
There you go, signet ring.
But it's a stamp.
But it's a signet stamp.
Yeah.
It's got their symbol in it.
Yeah.
Of the bee that says, hey, we've sealed this. No one's opened it and added beans or taken beans away.
Oh, yeah.
So when it comes to you can be rest assured it's what we put in it.
Yeah. It's cool.
Something like that.
It's very cool.
It's on theme, though, with their kind of whimsical throwback.
Yeah.
It's almost like a classic... Some contemporary.
Kind of artsy-fartsy. It's artsy-fartsy.
It's very artsy because each bag is hand designed and drawn.
It's not hand drawn.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
No, when he makes it,
when he makes it,
the design.
Draws it. The design is hand drawn.
Don't stop me. The design is hand drawn.
You said each bag is hand drawn.
Each offering.
Each bag is not hand drawn.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's screen printed.
The context of the conversation by bag. I mean, each bag for that particular coffee.
Each bag design?
Oh. Yes.
Okay. Well,
I think they knew what I meant.
Why didn't you just say that?
You thought like each bag, like he sat there?
That's what you said. You said each bag is hand drawn.
Oh. Okay.
Each bag design is hand drawn.
Exactly.
But the back of the bag is stamped.
It changes each time with a different bean.
And that's not to minimize the amount of attention that goes into each bag individually. Because I think the back is stamped. And I think the bottom is stamped, even if the front is screen printed.
Screen printed. It's pretty cool.
It's very cool. And they feel good. It feels artsy in your hand.
It's got a nice feel to it.
It's got a nice bag feel to it.
White bag. White matte finish.
Yeah.
But the screen printing looks awesome on it. The colors look awesome. The wax seal. When you open it, you feel like you got something special.
Yeah.
I really do.
Unlike their boxes that they mail them in, which are padded envelopes from USPS. But
well, mine came in. What did mine come in?
Something better?
No, you're right. It was just a bag.
It wasn't on theme.
The Perk coffee came in a USPS box.
It wasn't on theme.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, they put a lot of attention into the bag.
But not so much into the box that gets to you.
What kind of box? That would be kind of cool if it came in like just a standard brown box, but it had like the twine. Like a little twine tie or something. You know what I mean? Like
remember Roastin' Ratsies? She used a padded envelope, but she put stamps on it. She put stickers on it. And what was inside was twine wrapped as well. You felt like you got Christmas in the mail, even though she used the USPS mailer. Yeah. More was done to it than just a label stuck on there and put in the mail.
Yeah,
did more.
They could have put a seal on the outside of the box.
You know what I'm saying?
I know it costs more and it's more time, but
it's
how
worth
cool is that?
It's worth it. Some bird flew by the outside.
I thought the sun turned off for a second.
Oh, well, that could have been too. The sun could have turned off and then turned right back on.
That's what it felt like.
It was probably like a reset.
You ever have those moments where you're like, is the room getting darker? And you just realize that your eyelids are slowly closing?
No, but I'm sure that like the sun has to be reset, like your computer every once in a while it stops working well. It's just got to get reset.
They call those solar flares.
Your browser. Wait a minute. Your router, your internet router.
Your router.
Yeah. When as soon as it stops dropping packets. As soon as it stops dropping,
no longer carrying packets very well.
It's dropping packets, and you got to reset that puppy. You just turn the power off, let it go, let it sit 10 seconds, and then turn it back on. The sun is the same way.
There's something there to be said.
The sun is the same way.
Industry lingo. Don't use it when you're talking to customers.
Right.
That's right.
It's dropping packets.
Oh, good.
Is that good or bad? I don't know.
Thank you, CenturyLink Tech.
So what do I need?
Now that I know that it's dropping packets, how do we help it pick it back up?
How do we get...
Am I losing information?
Does it need chalk on its hands? Is it like in a strongman contest and it's trying to pick up Atlas stones and it can't get a good grip?
I just picture like a little kid.
Or is it tired?
Walking down the street with bags and he keeps dropping like packets of whatever he's carrying out the bottom of the bag.
Flour. His mom sent him to the store for flour and he's dropping packets
He's dropping packets
He gets home and the bags are empty. He's like, oh, this felt a little light.
Look, kids, that's what's wrong with our internet right there.
We got to go pick those packets up. Now, do you ever get those packets back or do you have to go to the store and buy new packets?
Yeah.
Are those packets gone forever?
I don't know.
How do we
custom
get them?
Packets?
I don't know.
Is each packet hand-drawn?
I don't know. But it does make for an interesting experience. And speaking of experiences, we've got some coffee experiences. Coffee experience. Raven?
Wait a minute. Hold on, stop.
What?
Was that new?
No.
Was that?
No, because I had it in 58 as well.
You had it in 58?
Yeah, Coffee Experiences, the little jingle.
Well, I missed it in 58, but I heard it this time.
Well, it's not very good. But we'll keep it. We'll keep it around.
Yeah.
The Raven, downtown. You went to the Raven in downtown Prescott, Arizona.
I did.
Tell me about it.
It's good.
Oh, good. And moving right along.
Yeah, I'll give you a little quick rundown. We decided late evening, one evening.
Perfect.
Great start.
That is so intriguing. It just hooked me right in. I'd love to hear about your evening.
Whimsical words here.
That evening.
So one evening, we decided, hey, let's go downtown, get some ice cream and some coffee. So we packed up the kids, went downtown, got some
packets.
Exactly.
You didn't drop those packets.
We didn't drop any of those
packets.
Okay,
perfect.
Nope, just little packets that my son leaves. we toss those out the window. Oh, it's got another packet.
Oh, another packet. I dropped it.
Packet.
Whoopsie.
So we went downtown and got some ice cream and said, let's get some coffee. Well, there is no true coffee shop that's open in our downtown square, which during the summer nights here in Prescott, Arizona, it's a busy little place. There's pretty much
very busy.
An event or music playing, free to the public every night.
Every night.
Yeah. Weeknights. Just come enjoy the beautiful evening and listen to music. And there's, I think, select food shops that have, espresso machines that you could get in espresso.
There's like bagel shops.
It's a secondary item.
Yeah. It's an afterthought.
The Raven is 2 blocks to the north, and it's a small little walk. It's not a big walk.
But you got to know what you're looking for.
You got to know.
Or Siri has to tell you.
And even they are generally a bar that serve craft beer, decent food.
Yeah.
But they have espresso.
They're alcohol first, coffee second.
Exactly. But their coffee, they do put attention into, and they source local, and they actually use Prescott Coffee Roasters. Shout out to Rich.
Yep.
So we walked down there, and we ordered 2 mochas, and I watched intently like a creeper. What?
El crepe.
I pretended to be Jake for 5 minutes.
How did that work for you?
It was good because, their bar, the way it was set up, it was on an angle, so she couldn't really see that I was watching.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect creeper.
Perfect.
Setup.
I love that.
Yeah. But everyone else there could see that I was
you were staring.
So I enjoyed what I thought was nice.
Don't break the gaze.
Yeah, watch. So I couldn't see clear enough what the equipment exactly was, name, brand, and all that, but they had a grinder that was a doser that weighed out the dose. Put the porterfilter in, and as it dispensed, I could tell it ran out the dose, and they had that pre-dialed. So that's good.
Nice.
Start number 1's good.
Yeah.
Start number 1's good.
Yeah, start number 1 is very good.
So we're starting
Tell me
off.
about start number 2.
Let's continue number 2.
Let's continue to number 2.
They also had right next to that a tamping machine device.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know what they're called. And there's different ones.
Auto tamper.
But instead of setting it on the countertop, or on the corner of the counter and using just a metal tamper, they put it in the machine and they pull the little lever, and it's, I think, dialed into a specific pressure, and it makes sure that it's tamped evenly.
Nice.
So I think it helps remove inconsistencies from barista to barista.
Yeah.
So that's the idea behind it.
Yeah.
So points there. Negative points were given.
Start number 3.
Yeah, start number 3, because before the tamp, my puck, or all 3 pucks that were, coffee portafilters that were filled up were patted down with the hand.
Hand scooched.
Yeah,
that coffee was hand scooched into the corners.
The fingers were shuffled along the sides, and then the palm was put on it to kind of give it a starting place before put in the tamping machine.
Love it. Yeah. Get your fingers in there.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Move that coffee around.
Yeah.
Compact it in some places and not in others.
So I'm not a fan of the touching of the hands.
Yeah, because you're a germaphobe. I love it. I love it. The only thing that would have been better if she'd have just licked her fingers first and then get up in there.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Or used her chin or something.
Right.
Weird. Yeah.
Right. It's like if you go to a food joint, they have to wear gloves.
If they're touching food.
Or
do they all have to wear gloves, or just have to make sure that they have some form of... I mean, if they go handle the cash register, they don't go back to prepping food.
You have to wash your hands
without washing, and they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But when you are the cashier and you're just serving drinks, and now I got to pull a shot real quick.
You don't need to.
You don't stop and wash your hands.
No, you don't need to.
You're not hitting it with some disinfectant.
No, just go get your cash fingers all up in there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Luckily, the water's probably hot enough to kill anything. But
probably, but it's still very visually appealing.
Yeah, it is.
It looks good.
So that was the only negative. So everything else was good. And what I also noticed is I think they have 3 sizes. I don't know what they were. I want to say
small, medium, and large.
Yeah, small, medium, but I don't know ounces. I think it was a 12 ounce, 16 ounce, and maybe even 8 ounce. It might have varied by 4 ounces.
Yeah.
So she pulled. Oh, the other thing she did is she measured the milk, but which was nice. Yeah. Measured the milk, steamed it accordingly, and it was good to go. Pulled the double shot. And then pulled a third double shot, split it, and added it to drinks. I said, "Oh, did you put 3 shots in each?" She goes, "Yeah, that's what we do for the medium." I'm like, "Do you do a double for the small?" She says, "Yes, and a quad for the large." I said, "That's nice. They automatically adjust the amount of coffee, not just add or subtract milk." So that was bonus points.
Bonus points, yeah.
And the coffee was good, so we enjoyed it. So that was my coffee experience. So
I wonder what they do with the other shot if
you only have one order.
Yeah.
I thought that walking away. I wanted to ask.
Oh, we just waste it, or I just kill it? We take shots all day?
Yeah.
The record is 28.
They
for employees.
I think they do, because that's their recipe. They do 3. It's a place that cares. They're craft,
Yeah, they're crafty.
They're not going to just adjust the recipe. Oh, if you get 2, do it right. But if you only get 1 order, or if you get, an odd order,
just wing it.
And just give someone 2 shots and everyone else gets 3. So that was good. Or give them 4.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they dump it in. You get lucky.
I don't know. Maybe they just dump it out.
Coffee
abuse.
So anyway, they didn't time the shot, but I could tell they had volumetrics coming out. So I think they knew how much was coming out. They were weighing what was going in. And That's pretty good. That's better than most.
Yeah. That's in stark contrast to the experience that I had at another coffee shop that gets their coffee from Prescott Coffee Roasters as well. Big shout out to Rich.
Which is interesting because he talked about that directly.
Yeah.
My coffee's served all over, and I can't control how it's served.
No, you can't, buddy.
I try.
No, you can't. I don't want to go off because we're at 40 minutes right now.
40?
It's like in 5 minutes. I'm not going to. We don't have the Orange Cactus Coffee update. We don't have the coffee history, but I guess I'm going to try it.
Well, maybe those
because I went
don't make it. I don't know.
Twice. I went twice. I went the first time, and I'm pretty pumped up. I went twice.
Twice implies you've went there at least once.
Oh, okay, perfect. So
starting first.
The first time I showed up, I had the kids. They got 2 Italian sodas.
Ooh.
We had to dump them. They were nasty.
Shaved. Oh.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Are they in a bottle?
No, they didn't put enough syrup in them. It's club soda, syrup, and half.
It's a machine.
No, they make it by hand.
Oh, they make it by hand?
Yeah, they didn't do a good job. But I didn't know that because the kids didn't tell me until we left.
Oh.
You know
gracious.
what I mean?
They didn't want to say in front of...
Yeah. And one kid got a smoothie, blueberry and raspberry, and it was not any good either. We ended up tossing that, but the kids didn't say anything until we left.
Not a sweet?
I don't know.
A sweet enough?
I don't know. Just a kid that doesn't want
not
to drink.
appealing.
I don't know. It could have been the kid, too. That one could be the kid. The other 2 is not. Okay, so that one
we'll discredit that review.
Yeah.
The other 2?
That one I could say, maybe the kid. But the other 2, the Italian sodas, nah, them kids know what they want. They know what's good. They've had good Italian sodas, and they expect great service.
Not feeling it.
Yeah, they weren't feeling it. We had to toss them. They were nasty. And I tried them. And I was like, oh, man, that is nasty.
Should your items be kid approved? Especially items like that are going to be served sometimes to kids?
Maybe. My thing is, if you're going to serve it to a kid, just make sure it's yummy and delicious.
Put some sugar in it.
Yeah, adults don't care if their food is yummy or drinks are delicious.
Nope.
They're willing to suffer through your nastiness.
There you go.
So I ordered a pour over.
Interesting.
I ordered
V60?
So they had the knockoff V60 there. Because they brought it out, and I was like, oh, that's the V60, and it's black. It's black porcelain. And I only knew because I love V60s, and I'm looking for a black V60 pour over.
Yeah.
A black porcelain. Hario makes a black metal one, not porcelain. But Amazon has a knockoff brand. It's like Me Coffee or Me something or other. I think it's from Korea.
Is it like the V40?
No. They call it a V60, I think.
Do they really?
But it's a knockoff brand.
60-degree angle.
It's all black. It's porcelain. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. And it's half the price, less than half the price of a regular V60.
Sold.
And so when I'm sitting there asking, I was like, oh, what do you use? And I was like, oh, and it's like, is that the V60? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, it's not from Hario, is it? It's like, that's the knockoff one. And she goes and grabs the box, and she's like, well, this is the box it came in. And I was like, okay, perfect. And it was absolutely the knockoff one. It was not a Hario brand, which is fine. Who cares?
Yeah.
They had the Hario Bueno kettle that I have, and they had the Hario scale that I have.
Yeah.
But she didn't use those. She used she used the scale. She had a Bonavita with a plug. And if you listen to the Daily Ristretto, you know what's about to happen. She took the Bonavita with the electric setting, just like ours. Ours is a 1.7 liter. She has the 1 liter.
Okay.
Didn't turn it on. Took the electric kettle off. Filled it up with water. Went over to the espresso machine and put the water in the steam wand. And heated the water up with the steam wand. I'd never seen it before.
Yeah.
I don't know what temperature it got to. Neither does she, because there was no thermometer. There was no nothing.
Just hit it with the steam.
That's
interesting.
Just hit it with the steam until it's rumbling and rolling, I guess.
I've heard of that trick.
And then she went and did the pour over. Took forever. But they said, I was like, oh, I asked them, do you do this, this, and this?
Yeah.
Oh, pulled out the instructions.
Okay.
The 1-sheet instructions. This is what I'm going to go do. For a small, medium, and large.
Yeah.
The instructions there. It's a 15-to-1 ratio. The manager had written out the instructions for him. Okay. And I follow this sheet. I'm just going to get over here, follow this sheet, and make your pour over. We're trying to up our coffee game.
Yeah.
And
what was the coffee?
It was the Night Watch.
Oh, I saw that in your picture.
It was good.
The Night Watch.
It was good.
Was it?
She made a good pour over.
Nice.
The espresso, he made a double for me. And there's oh, that's for here? So he puts it in the demitasse, and he's like, let me remake it for you. And I was like, it's okay. I'll just drink it like this. He's like, no, that's okay. Let me remake it for you. So
Why did he want to remake it?
He said, I gave you a dead shot.
He wasn't happy with it.
He wasn't happy with it.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, you can, you can remake it. That's fine. And it was just okay.
Yeah.
It was just okay. And then I had 2 mochas to go. One for me, one for the missus. So I spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of money, and then they gave me a coupon, 15% off the next drink.
Okay.
And as I'm going home, I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, 15%? It's like 45 cents.
Yeah.
That's not a lot for a drink. I mean, if you're going to give out a coupon, at least make it worth it.
$1.
So I go back
off.
the second time, and I told him, I said, hey, for the most expensive drink you have here, this coupon is worth 66 cents. And I was like, I gave that more in tip last time.
Yeah.
It's not even worth having a coupon.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. And they're like, yeah. And so then I had a Cubano today.
Okay, saw that.
Because you had the Cubano before, and so I took it. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. Infused with a little bit of sugar.
And I ordered another small night watch pour over.
Okay.
And she said, I coarsened up the grind to make it go a little faster. Let me know if it's better than last time.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Wasn't as good as last time.
It was not as good. I couldn't believe it. The first time I tried it, I was like, wow, the flavors for a blend, it was incredible.
It was good.
That's when I said, Mikey, we got to go. The second time I was like, this was not very good.
Not feeling well, and it's hard if you're not keeping track of all the variables, if you don't know what your water temp is.
Yeah.
You know?
The inconsistent drinks.
You don't know if it was that. Is it the grind?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I have no idea, but it was not, it was dull and flavorless. No, because she
left.
Yeah, I was leaving.
Yeah.
But the missus got an ice blended drink, some caramel, something, foo-foo, whatever. They used shots of espresso.
Nice. Hot shots?
Hot shots.
That's the way to go.
Consistent blend all the way through. Not very good, though.
Really?
Yeah, the flavor was not good. It was kind of sad.
Did you try it?
I did try it. I was like, that doesn't taste very good. It tasted, I don't know, chemically.
Maybe the flavoring they use?
Maybe. I don't know what. And maybe the caramel syrup. I don't know, but it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
It was just meh. But while I was there the second time, the same people, same 2 baristas, same manager, everybody's there. One of the elderly gentlemen. Yeah. I'm going to call him an old-timer because that's how he identified himself. Yeah. He's an old-timer.
The persona.
He's a Navy corpsman, Vietnam vet. We were talking shop, you know. Mm-hmm. We were talking about whatever. Anyhow, and he's sitting there. The barista brings him out his drip coffee, and he sent it back. He said, nah, that's not my cup.
Send it back.
That's not my cup. I'm not drinking out of a square mug.
That's funny.
And I was like, well, I think he has a point as far as like, because it's in the back of a thrift store. Uh-huh. And so they've got this wide variety of eclectic mugs that they serve coffee in.
Sure.
So you never know what you're going to get.
Unless you request it,
Unless you request it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's the customer that's kind of out in our area here. We have a lot of retirees that like everything the same way, the same day. Their habits are set in stone. Cat and Cloud were talking about that it took them 3-4 months for one guy that they were serving to get him to try something different. And he said, but we never pushed it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Make him happy. You're good to go.
Yeah.
After you build trust, you can start recommending drinks. They're going to listen to you.
They'll come in one day and be like, I want to try this. I'm ready.
What about if they walked in and you offered them a sample while they're waiting?
Exactly. If it's just free, it's available. They don't have to commit or feel like they're making you do something you wouldn't otherwise do.
This is our standard operation.
Yeah.
Both times, though, that I went into the shop, I had to remind them that I had more things coming. Like now, I just tell them. Like when they're done making my drinks and they're looking at me, I tell them, oh, by the way, I had this as well. Oh, by the way, I have this as well.
Oh, really?
They always forget something in my order.
So you order so much, they forget the beginning of the order.
And I apologize. I say it's because it makes them feel awkward, but I tell them, oh, it's my fault. I'm talking too much and, I distracted you, blah, 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 blah. But they always forget something.
Yeah, that's funny. So I think it sounds like as you describe that, the takeaway for me, and you're seeing this more and more, we have these solid second wave shops that are seeing a progression.
Yes.
And seeing that customers are demanding a better cup.
Yes.
And seeing that in order to do that, we go down these V60 routes, these pour overs.
French press is another thing that was added to their menu.
Yeah. We highlight different just espresso shots, the Cubano, and then there's the cone Panama, the cone with cream. Cone pana with cream.
Con pana.
These little shots with just a little extra in it.
Yeah.
But
they're trying to up their game.
They're not taking the time to own it.
Yes.
They're just thinking it's a simple little add-on. Oh, we can pour hot water over a little V60.
Totally.
And I think
your knockoff V60,
it's going to hurt them.
I like the knockoff V60, though. I want to tell you that right now.
It might be a valid brewer. It might be good to go.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it might be the same thing. But I think it's going to hurt them. It's like when somebody tries to do something they're not good at or inclined. Invested, have been trained properly on.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
And then it kills you. And then it's like you lose your identity at all. Just stick with being solid second wave.
Now, another thing about the guy's name was Mike. Big shout out to Mike, the Navy corpsman. He is kind of that typical veteran that you think of that wants his just black coffee.
Straight black.
Yeah, he's that guy.
No froofy.
He's that guy.
Fruity.
And it's funny to me that he picked this shop because they've got no guns allowed stickers everywhere on the outside.
Oh, really?
And I don't want to get political. I'm not going to say whatever.
Yeah.
But in this part of Arizona, gun ownership is a big deal.
Yeah. That's kind of a norm.
The vast majority, we're an open carry, concealed carry, whatever you want to carry. It's that kind of state.
Yeah.
And customers will let you know. Like when Mike and I worked at a bank, they had a sign, no gun inside.
No gun.
We had customers come in and say, we're not going to bank here anymore. Mm-hmm. And have you thought about the ramifications? Do you know who comes in here? You know, they were polite, gracious, but forceful. The signs came down and the people stayed.
Yeah.
And so I find it interesting to have all these no gun signs everywhere. And he still comes in here. Yeah. In fact, I asked him about it, and he said, "Oh, my buddies, we still carry anyways. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about that?"
That's funny.
But it's in stark contrast to another coffee shop on the coffee experience that I went to called Thanks a Latte.
Yeah.
I went for the second time up in Camp Verde.
Wow.
Again, same scenario, same barista, same time of day, same
setting,
same
time, same place.
Yes, same bat time, same bat channel.
There you go.
And he obviously didn't want to be there that day.
Oh, wasn't feeling it.
Barista did not want to talk shop with me. Barista did not want to be there. He was alone. I waited probably a half hour to get my drinks.
No.
I walked in. There were some people in front of me. Fine. I didn't wait too long to order. The service was so terrible.
Do you think it was just him or because he was alone?
He was alone last time as well. Why is my man alone?
He's sad.
I don't know, but you could tell he was hating life. He didn't want to talk. He didn't want to chit-chat. Didn't want to,
Not feeling it.
He was not feeling work that day.
That's why you need two.
And the drinks that came out, I wasn't feeling them.
It's like his spirit was infused into them.
The drinks were not good.
The drinks were sad.
The boys had the Italian sodas, and those were good.
Those were good.
So big shout out.
Those are pre-made, though.
But here's the thing. Why would I go back? I spend a lot of money every time I go, and so do you.
You're dropping at least $20.
I'm dropping at least $20 when I show up. I'm spending at least $20 when I show up. I'm leaving tips. And that's another thing, Mikey.
Tips.
Why do I don't know if I want to leave tips anymore. I don't know if I want to. Because you know what? You ask me for the tip when I order instead of at the end.
I know. Exactly.
It's backwards.
It is.
Like if I go to a restaurant.
We've talked about this.
We have. I want to talk about it again. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings because I was there for
Never been there.
3 hours. I hate it. I hate it so much with a passion. But that's where our fundraiser / football equipment fitting was at.
Oh, good.
Because they open up their patio to us.
Where should we have it? Let's pick the restaurant Jacob hates.
Oh, they love them some Buffalo Wild Wings.
Do they?
So
that's good.
The missus gets there with the kiddos, and we order, and it's always pandemonium. They have one person to come out and wait on 100 people. Maybe not 100, but maybe.
It's like 1 to 1,000 ratio.
It is
no joke.
Insane. They should at least have 2 people out there, but they have one person that comes out. Took our order. An hour and a half later, there's still no food.
What? And you're still sitting there?
I'm still sitting there, but I have to sit there because I'm talking to people that come in, getting them signed up. I'm getting kids fitted for helmets and shoulder pads and jerseys.
Do you think they took liberty of that? Like, I ain't going nowhere anyway.
They always do.
Do they?
They always do.
Take forever?
They always take forever.
Wow.
So anyhow, an hour and a half, and the lady comes out, and I'm going to tell April, just go. Just go. It's 7:30. Get out of here. And so she comes out, and she's like, the food, the order's just in. And I think she said she forgot. I didn't catch all of it, whether she forgot about us or whatever. I said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all.
We're backing up.
But yeah, and I tell April, just go ahead. You can take off. I said, we're just going to take off. And so April takes the kids and leaves and gets food, goes home. And then they got me something as well. And then I just, when the meeting was done, not the meeting, when the fitting and fun and everything was done, then I went home and ate. But I was starving and I was mad. And I don't know. I probably shouldn't be. Yeah. But I just don't know how you can let one person be responsible for like 100 people.
It's sad.
And then you forget it, like the system that, waiters, they write stuff down. Some of them, they say, oh, I'll just remember it. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just think you got to have a better.
It's a poor business plan.
It was a poor business plan. It was a poor experience. And I can tell you, I hate Buffalo Wild Wings.
And it's not just a one-off. I understand things happen.
It's every time I go. Yeah. And that, like, if you have a big group, it's like they give you just one server. Yeah. And then I'm like, much. But I always feel obligated to tip. Like the last time we went, which was a week prior, we did the exact same thing.
I do too.
I went and it was the same thing, only our food actually showed up this time, but it was after 45 minutes. Yeah. And I still left old boy a tip. He was hustling, but I'm just like, why don't you have one more person out here?
That's crazy.
Why don't you let them go out 2 by 2? People are so much more productive when they're there with their friends. When they can work with their homies, they're so much more productive.
It's when you let the bottom line become the top initiative.
It's crazy.
It really is. It's when you think, well, if we don't need to employ someone else and pay, then we're saving money. We're cutting FTE.
Full-time employees.
Yeah. We're saving, the company a little bit of money, and it's going to work out better for the shareholders or for the owners. But the reality is you're hurting yourself. Yeah. It's like saying, hey, look at this right hand. It's pretty useless, actually. And
just
in fact,
chop it off.
All the food I eat, it's getting like 1/4 of the nutrients. If I take this right hand off, this right arm,
else gets nutrients.
Yeah, the nutrients will be better, and I'll have to take in less nutrients, less money spent on it. Let's just cut the arm off.
That is in stark contrast to Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. I've got friends from the Facebook friends.
I got friends.
They're all over the country. And they're always, one of them, a week, every 2 weeks, whatever. Somebody's putting up there.
Love the Chick-fil-A.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love the service. Everything is always great.
It's a brand. It's a lifestyle. It's a buy-in to them.
Yes. I don't just like Chick-fil-A. I love Chick-fil-A. The last time I was at Chick-fil-A, I was leaving.
I don't like it.
Let me tell you something. I got a special drink. It was a watermelon lemonade.
Nice.
And so I got the watermelon lemonade. The manager was taking my order. And I said, and we were talking, because you know me, I'm a talker. So we were chit-chatting, and I was like, dude, that looks so good. I got to try it. And he's like, hey, no problem. He's like, but for the refills, I can't give you a watermelon lemonade. It's a special thing. I can give you a free refill of just regular lemonade. Yeah. And I said, perfect. Works for me. Yeah. It's great.
Let you know up front instead of when you came back.
It was great.
Yeah.
So then they're walking by asking us if we need refills. And he's like, do you want a refill of that lemonade? While I'm sitting there getting ready, we're still eating. And I was like, no, I'm good. But so then as we're leaving, I look at him and I was like, I'll take a refill of lemonade for the road. And he's like, I got you. He went, and guess what he did?
I got you. He gave you the watermelon.
He gave me the watermelon lemonade.
Yeah, he did.
He absolutely did. He appreciated that I was happy to be there. He appreciated that I appreciated the service. We were just happy to be there. He reciprocated it, and he hooked me up. He took care of me.
He saw more value in providing you that watermelon lemonade than the money they were saving by not giving you the lemonade part.
Yes.
He saw more value.
The watermelon, whatever the watermelon flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he did.
I love it. I love me some Chick-fil-A.
Because here you are. You're speaking highly of him.
I love Chick-fil-A.
I want some Chick-fil-A.
And I hate me some Buffalo Wild Wings. I hate them. And I don't want to use that. I'm using the word a little flippantly. Hate
within the context of a conversation about service.
But I have a strong dislike for Buffalo Wild Wings, and I've committed to my own self. I'm not going again. The last 3 times that I've been,
you need a new meeting place.
Have only been because of the football.
Yeah,
folks have asked me to go there. Not doing it again.
Yeah. And it might be because they're set up like if you just want to go in there and just get a basket of wings and some beer, like they can bang that out quick. But if you actually want to sit down, have a meal, order, you know what I mean? Like, they're not very efficient at that. And I've heard that a lot. And it's kept me from going there.
Don't go.
I don't want to.
Don't go. Go get you some Chick-fil-A.
Go to Chick-fil-A.
Well, we don't have a Chick-fil-A out here because they haven't built one yet. But I'm excited. I think I'm going to go get a job at Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, if you're listening.
Chick-fil-A. I love me some Chick-fil-A.
Come up north a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they're there. They're coming. Their plans are approved and everything in town here.
It's happening.
The same spot where I want to be, right across the street, the coffee shop.
Yeah.
The retail location I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Chick-fil-A.
Booyah.
Ooh.
And
coffee.
They really need to up their cold brew and their coffee game, but that's totally other story.
Well, that's where we come in.
Yeah, that's where we come in. But
let them stick to the chicken.
You know, Chick-fil-A.
Let them eat chicken.
Yeah. You do chicken.
You do you.
You do you.
We do we.
We do we.
Oh, and on that.
But there's a lot of joints where, like, they offer coffee as an afterthought, where if there was a coffee joint next door, like in a lot of food places, and you had kind of the coffee and dessert,
yeah,
you could make a killing.
Yeah.
You could make a killing. I was just reading a review on Google right now, and he's like, "This joint is it's down in Scottsdale, and I want to go visit it. Write a coffee review." But he's like, "This is my first date coffee spot." He's this is where I always go.
See?
My first date is coffee, and it's at this place. He says the vibe is great, everything's great. This is where I'll always go for a first date.
That's
this
cool.
is it.
It's not the coffee. It's the experience.
It's the experience.
And it's kind of the way it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Like that place, he wants to go there to impress.
It's like Jimmy John's, where one of his little life goals on there, or one of his lessons learned is like, notice how a person treats the waiter, speaks to the waiter.
Yeah.
The way they speak to the waiter, that's the type of person they are. That's the real them.
Yeah.
They might be sweet talking you, but how they talk to the waiter is how they're going to talk to you. You know, once they get to know.
That's their true self.
That's their true self.
True colors.
So if you give them an experience opportunity, right? So you show up and then let's roast a little bit of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to show up to this place. We're going to roast a little coffee. We're going to take it home.
It's perfect.
Boom. Go taste experience.
Cat and clouds on it. They want them to leave happier than they came.
Leave happier than you came in.
It's a good way to summarize.
So you know how you do that? You don't go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, you care about people. You care and you serve them.
Thanks a latte. I got one last question before we wrap this thing up.
This one's going long.
I know, it's going long. I apologize.
Stretching this out.
We're going long for Manny.
We're taking one out of the page of the Buffalo book there.
The Buffalo book.
Let him sit.
Yeah. Just whatever.
Whatever.
Should we make cards?
Cards?
To leave at places that we visit.
Let them know.
Spotlights
Check out
on
your
you.
review.
Spotlights on you, orangecactuscoffee.com.
I almost said something that would have been bad. I was trying to think of a catchy little saying, do with a cactus and the pricks that it have on it.
No, we have coffee spotlights.
I know, but to say, because there's another group, podcasters, and they use the saying, they just say, you've been reviewed. That's their catch, that's their saying. Oh, yeah. Like they're known around town now. Like, boom, you see the card, you've been reviewed. Like, oh, no. Go check it out. So you could have another saying, you've been orange cactified, or
Itchy was here.
Itchy was, something, was some here. Catchy saying.
Feeling itchy?
Yeah.
Spotlights on you.
But that's
maybe not.
I mean, they get weird quick when you start thinking about cactus.
So how about just spotlights on you? Orangecactuscoffee.com. You've been reviewed.
Something like that. Yeah, I like that.
Should we do that? Should we get something like that?
Well, I don't know. Why would we not? I guess it draws more attention. Lets them know, hey. We've checked your stuff out. We're going to be honest. Maybe we can even say that in a brief little statement. We try not to be mean unless you're in Buffalo.
Right.
But we try to give you honest feedback and what our goal is. I don't know. Like I want it to be received well.
Yeah, I want a way to like the coffee people that we get into come into contact with. I want them because I think they want to know. Like you start asking the questions.
Yeah.
Because they called me out at the first time I went to the first step or step one or whatever.
They called you out?
Yeah, they were like, okay.
What's up? What's your deal? You starting a shop?
No, well, it wasn't that, but we've got that before.
Yeah.
They say, okay, so it's obvious you know a lot about coffee. And I was like, no, I just,
I just know that I know the lingo. Yeah.
Just dabbling. Just learning. I'm just learning, which is true.
Reminds me of the Scott Rayo story. Oh, had I known you knew more about coffee,
right,
I would have made the drink right.
Yeah. I would have just remade it instead of staying here and argue with you about the coffee.
Try to convince you it's good. Yeah. No, it's funny. I think we should do something like that. I would like it to make sure that it just conveys, hey, this is what we do. We review. Please use this information however you see fit. And it's really just to promote good coffee.
Yeah.
Good coffee, good people.
And then can we send them to, like, Greg has written some stuff for us?
Mm-hmm.
And The Ghost, we've got an article that we're going to publish here soon.
I mean, one of the things...
The Ghostly Roaster, I mean, it broadens...
A little bit. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
For some of the outfits, majority of the outfits, we kind of hit them up on social media and letting them know.
We do. We
tag them.
We haven't been doing a good job lately because I haven't been writing.
We haven't. We haven't had too many. Yeah, we've been busy. But when we do, like with Boss, we like, hey, Boss, love the visit. We tag them and they see it. And we've even had them say, oh, check out this review Orange Cactus.
Yes.
So we kind of do that on the social webs. Yes. I think it's more...
We need to do more of that, though.
Well, we just continue that.
Yeah.
But there's certain shops that don't have that social media presence or they never see it.
Yeah.
And so a card would fill in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to just make a card to make a card, which I think part of that excites you, if I'm honest.
Yes.
You want to just...
I want another card because what happened is those little square business cards that I got for
the third wave water.
For the third wave water that we put in each coffee order.
Yeah.
Those got me all pumped up. I was like,
no,
we got to find
something. What else can we make?
What else can we make out of this? This is so cool. What else can we make? Yeah. Yes, that's I confess that is very true. That is my motivation behind it.
Yeah. I just don't know.
But I think there's some carryover.
There might be. No? I don't know if it adds more value than the social media tags.
Maybe I should just make cards and just play with, just sit at home and look at it and be like, oh, so nice.
I don't know. Any of the big reviews, we've tagged them on, Facebook or Instagram. They see it and they either share it, or they are silent.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been. Well, I can tell you who Shots Coffee in Colorado Springs, and Boss Coffee in North Scottsdale, were the most. Oh, and Press Coffee is pretty good too.
Part of me thinks if they're not on there, and this tied in with your ristretto, if they're not on there and they're not plugged in, they don't deserve to know. I know that might be a little mean.
What about, no, I don't think that's mean. I think that's right. But what about the baristas or the people that are working there? Do you think they might find value in being introduced to our show?
I would like to think
part of it is maybe shameless self-promotion.
Yeah, you can tie that into it. But part of me would like to think that as soon as the owner or the manager, whoever's in charge of the Instagram or the Facebook goes, oh, guys, we were reviewed. Hey, look, he's talking about you. You know what I mean? They would share that with their team.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't happen a lot, but I imagine for the majority of it, they're not big teams.
I forgot. There's one thing I wanted to say.
Better say it quick.
Last thing about the V60 at the step one.
It wasn't
first
a V60.
step. I can't even remember what it was. The knockoff V60.
What are we going to call it?
So as old girl's sitting there making the thing.
W120.
She's wrestling with the filter that goes inside the V60.
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably where I tipped my hand.
Did she lick it?
No. And I said,
great.
Here, can I show you something real quick? And she's like, yes. She hands me it, and I take it, and I do the fold.
Yeah, you fold the crease.
And I drop it in there, and she's like, boom, mind blown.
That's so cool. That's cool.
And I was like, yeah, that's little something.
Don't worry about it.
Little something. And then they were like, okay, it's obvious you know something about golf.
That's why the dude was like, let me remake this for you.
And that's exactly what it was. He was like, oh, never mind. Let me remake this.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't know if I'm making cards.
She was struggling with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
She was struggling with the filter. I was just trying to be helpful.
You're not. I think you should invest in it. Yes, you better start up in your coffee game, right? Because if you don't, you're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
But you got to invest. You got to learn.
Roll it out one by one and make it right.
You don't print out 5 steps. Here, follow this. You're good to go. That's not going to cover it.
Promote it. Like,
exactly. Own
again,
it.
the pour over was taken away from where I could see it and made on the back counter, hidden.
Well, sure.
And I was like, it's so cool if you put it on a stand and do it right here. It's part of the experience. They agreed. They're like, we just don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. We probably need to wrap this bad boy up.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're 20 minutes late.
Thing that I would do when we have a shop and we're training and we are doing pour overs.
We're never going to have a shop. We're just going to have dreams.
Anyone we bring on board is going to make pour overs until they are sick of making pour overs. When we have orientation and onboarding.
Just boot camp?
You are just going to you are going to be so familiar with how to make
boot camp.
So that when a customer orders it, you've made 100 pour overs already. It's just second nature.
I'm not sick of doing pour overs. How about we only hire people that love coffee?
It's just an expression I'm saying to get the nerves out.
Yeah.
When you do something over and over and over and over, okay, do it again.
You're going to master it.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah. Like in Japan, right? All of a sudden it's starting to make a little more sense.
Yeah.
The 3-year apprenticeship.
Exactly.
Before you can do a pour over for a customer.
And then when they start getting comfortable, you show up and you start talking real loud in their face. You know what I mean? Like, you just mess them up. A little boot camp, like you're saying. Yeah. You just throw stuff at them.
I don't know if I want to work for you anymore.
You just throw stuff at them.
You're intimidating me
I think it'd be so fun. It'd be so fun. But then, no, I'm going to do it to myself, too, because I want to be that comfortable.
Yeah.
So that if someone starts talking to you, it doesn't even faze you because...
I can't do two things at once. I can't do a pour over and talk.
Nobody gets in your face more with loud words than my boss, Jacob. You know what I mean? Like, any customer can talk to me. I can handle this.
Who's that? Is that me?
That's you. I know if anyone can make somebody feel uncomfortable, buddy, it's you.
I don't know whether to feel flattered, honored, complimented, or like, Mike, how could you?
It's both.
Oh, okay.
It's all of the above.
So the conflicted feelings are good.
In this situation, it's needed and welcomed.
Well, thank you.
But not in every.
Should we
keep going? Let's just make it just 2 hours. Let's just tap this out.
Okay. All right. Thank you. If you're still listening, blame Manny. Because Manny always says go longer.
We do got some good stuff to talk about, but we'll hit you up with that next time.
Next time. Thanks for listening.
Appreciate it.
So we went along with this one. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us. Show notes are going to be at orangecactuscoffee.com/episode 60. That's episode 60. And just a quick correction. It was step 1 that had the great Italian sodas and smoothies. It was thanks a lattes that we had to throw away. So anyhow, wish it was better, but it is what it is. Catch you next time.